everyone. Today I wanted to share with my members that I created some photocopies of my 4 most recent sketchbook drawings. And I thought that I would provide it to you as a download. So I'm going to include the link for you. You guys will be the first ones to get it before I release it out to everyone else. But I thought I would share this with you, and we will draw some of these images together and then color them. Now you can either choose to just color along with me or draw along with me. I'm going to try to recreate some of my own artwork. And again, you can use these to trace, but this is just, I decided to create a cover page. And the one I wanted to do today was sort of a take on this one with this lady sitting with a cat in a chair. So I thought we'd try that one. And if you guys enjoy that, you can let me know in the comments if you want to do the other, well, there's probably 3 more. There's this one and this one, and then the cover one, which I just love. So let's get started. Let's see if I can keep them both in view so you could see it. Okay, so I have my I have my drawing set to the side so that we have lots of room to draw. I'm going to use one of my markers because my Sharpie marker, I have to get some more Sharpie markers. But we can just see the main thing that I'm doing here is the head and the cat, and the rest I just kind of fill in. Now, speaking of cats, my cat just cannot sit on my desk and leave my stuff. She's knocking everything over. But let's see if we can do this. Usually when I start a painting or a drawing, I start with the head. So I am literally going to just lightly, for me, because this is a very dark marker, map out her head with a U shaped, and then on top is like an oval, right? And the head is usually wider at the top. Now I got this one is much wider than this one, but again, that's fine. And then I'm going to bring the neck down ever so slightly, kind of from the side of the head. Now you can use a pencil if you want for this, or a pen. It's really up to you. The next thing I'm going to do here is I'm mapping in her earrings. Just gives me a place to map in her earrings. I have little hearts too. So a little line, some hearts. And now I'm going to map in her features. Now I'm going to get a pencil because to map in the features, you're going to put a line down the center of her face. And then at the top part, there's going to be a line, and then divide this second part in almost in half. But I'm just randomly putting the mouth, the nose, and the eyes, so I know where to put them. The next thing I'm going to do is just draw sort of a shape for the eye, which is like I don't know, I want to say a half circle, but it's more like a moon shape. And just remember, these eyes are equal distance apart, okay? And the next thing we're going to do is just do a little circle for her pupil, and we'll worry about the rest later. The little circle for her pupil, and then 2 dots for her nose. Now, just by eyeballing this, because I've done this for so long, I could see her nose is a little too high, so I'm going to bring it down a bit. And then I'm just going to draw a line for where her mouth is. Okay, and then I'm going to draw a little line underneath for her bottom lip. And then you can see I just drew the mouth in there. Now I'm going to draw her eyelids. I like a high eyelid, kind of like the 50s kind of glam. I'm getting her eyelashes in. Now this isn't going to be exactly the same as this one, but I'm just giving you sort of a review of how I did it. And I'm drawing sort of bushy eyebrows for this lady, which is fine. Okay, so we've got that mapped in. And now what I like to do with hair is just do something simple, just like a wavy line. And so that's all I did there. A wavy line for her hair, okay? And then you can see with the collar, like with her clothing, I really do loose wavy lines. So I'm just going to do some loose, fancy wavy lines for her top. And then I'm going to map in the cat. And we can add the cat anywhere we want. So for the cat, I'm just going to do a triangle, little line, a triangle, and then another U shape. I almost draw it similar to how I draw a person. And now you're going to do an upside down U for the body. So you could see it's an upside down U. I just skipped the face. Then I draw a line in the center and a little line to the left of center and a little line to the right of center because that is the paws for the cat. We're not trying to draw anything realistic. I like a big tail for this cat. We're not drawing anything realistic. We're just drawing for fun. And again, now I'm going to try to create the face down here. I just do a little half a moon, and then plop in some eyes, a little circle for the nose. Again, I'm doing a line down. You could keep the cat as simple as you want. Sometimes I like to draw things like little lines on the kitty, and I like to draw a fancy collar on the kitty. And I drew the heart for this part, so I like to draw a little heart for the kitty. And you can also draw like things like lines on his tail. I'm not making this exactly the way that one was, but you know, that's the fun of art. In fact, you could probably do like a whole bunch of cats. Maybe I'll do another one. I'll make this. I'll spice this one up. I'm drawing a U shape and then an upside down U. I'm bringing this in a little bit more, but you can see how you can draw a cat pretty easily, and then a triangle and another triangle. Okay. And I like to draw the whiskers for the cat, so that's what I'm doing, a few dots. When you color the cats in, that's when it becomes really fun. And sometimes I like to draw like little crowns on the cat. Now, this lady's kind of sitting in a chair. So again, if we're thinking of shapes, she's going to be in a big chair. So I'm going to do like a U shape here, right? So it's almost like a U shape coming around. And then the other thing is her arms, right? Her arms are coming out. So if I have my pencil, I can actually map out her arms. And you can erase it later. But her arm was kind of on the, like, resting. And I'm not the best with hands, so I just kind of keep it loose. But her arm was resting on the chair. And then the other arm is sort of hugging these cats, holding them, right, on her. So I just sort of randomly do it like that. The outside of her chair is something vintagey, you know, she's got like this fancy chair. So I'm just doing some lines there, and then I'm coming down a little bit and I'm going to draw, I could probably do like a circle here for where the chair is, you know, like the arms of the chair, right? And I've made that fancy. And on the other one, I drew a circle, you know, where the buttons are on a chair, right behind her. You know, it's kind of like the chair in my office that has all these buttons, except I don't have fancy arms. Okay, so that is her. What I am going to do is draw the round part of her eye and sort of bring it in a bit. And I'm going to use a white pencil or a marker to sort of fill that back in. But I'm liking the way that looks. Now I'm going to remove that picture and we're going to focus on this. I'm going to move this in a bit. I am using my, I don't know, Montmartre. I don't even know how to say this, but I'm using these oil pastels, which are really, really affordable. And then I'm using the Gallery oil pastels. These are my two favorite. And I love the colors, so I'm going to open those up, and I'm going to try to keep this simple, even though I, you know, always end up making everything complicated. And I'm going to just map it in. And I'm not really worried about anything. I just really enjoy sort of coloring it in. I'm just putting her hands there. Her other hand is kind of supposed to be holding those cats. Okay, so I've mapped in a bit of her face, and the other side of her face I might make a little bit darker. I kind of like playing with doing one side of the face a darker color than the other and then going from there. I'll probably be adding more color to it, but probably should add her ears. But that's what it looks like so far, and maybe a little bit of color here. So her chair is going to be blue because I really enjoy bright colors. And I'm just mapping this in. This is going to be wood, and this is maybe a goldish color, you know, a rich chair. I'm gonna have to map in the those buttons on the chair again. But really, it's just about playing and having fun. Really had fun doing this sketch. And this is, you know, if this is some kind of velvet chair, there's going, you know, the arms of the chair are going to be a nice velvety blue. And then we're going to get her hair in. And this isn't about perfection, it's really just about having fun. And the best part about this is that I made photocopies of this so that you can color it in and draw it and try again. I want to keep the color sort of pulling them in so they kind of match. Now this, I'm wondering if maybe I'll do a gray color here or something and then make the cat gray. Let's try that. I didn't want to use black because I'm going to use black for pops of contrast. And then this cat is going to be sort of a gray color, and I'll figure this out in a bit because I'm going right over his whole face, but we'll figure this out. Oil pastels you can add stuff back in. He might be gray and white. We'll see. I kind of want to add her lip color in. And maybe some cheek color if I can find a softer pink. I love how these oil pastels just go right over each other. And I might give her a light blue eyeshadow. We'll see how that looks. And again, don't be afraid to play. Now, what am I going to do? Maybe this is going to, I wonder what color I should make her top. Maybe I'll make it that nice pale green that I love. And then we'll go from there. I'm going to make it this green. And the other thing I like about oil pastels is you can be quick with it. I really love that green. Okay. And you know what else I love? When, like, as I hit the blue, it kind of blends it in together. Okay, I enjoy that. Now this is supposed to be gold, so I might actually put gold acrylic paint there. I'm not sure how I want to proceed with that, but so far I'm really enjoying this. I think I might add a light yellow to her hair. You know, I don't want it to be just boring one color, so I'm kind of just playing around and seeing if I could blend it in together. All right, and now I kind of want to go back to her cheek color and maybe just use my finger a bit. Kind of like that. And adjust her blue eyeshadow a little bit. I've got like another, ooh, this is nice. Let's see. I'll have to add a little black to that because I've kind of covered her eyes a bit. And now should I use a lighter blue here? Let's see, I want to see how this blends in. I really like blending different oil pastels together. I'd love to hear if you're using colored pencils, markers. What are you using when you do this? I might add a really, well, I've got this white here. It's really, let's see what we can do with it for the kitty. Because his tail, I didn't want it to blend in with the, chair. So I'm just kind of mapping him in a bit. I've lost his eyes. I'll bring his eyes back. I kind of like the way he looks. I actually might do it with this one too. I love this white. Okay, and I wonder if I should just do like a line for this chair. I'm not sure. Okay, so far I am liking this. I might see if I can add some black to go back and outline this chair a bit. Get her hair in. And this is her shirt. Oh, that looks good. Okay. I've got her eye there. Oh, wow. I really like the way this looks, but I do want to get these cats' faces in as well. I drew a little tiny nose, and I'm just sort of mapping in the cats once again. And these are just cute little cartoony cats. I kind of like their vibe. So there we go. This guy looks sad. I'm not sure why. Okay, so I really like the way this looks. I think I will put the gold paint there and then call it a day. I'm going to use my gold acrylic marker. Because I don't have any oil pastels on this part, I can use my gold acrylic marker. This is the final result. I finished it off with the gold acrylic marker. I love the way it looks and I had so much fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thanks so much and have a wonderful day. Happy sketching.